If you're finding yourself stretching your pecs and stretching your hips and none of that stuff lasts, the one thing you need to realize that when you are doing something that's causing that stiffness all the time, it's really hard to release the tension just by trying to stretch a muscle for 60 seconds, a minute or two, or even a regimented 60-minute routine a day. So one thing you absolutely have to start working on is apply GEM to your posture. That's a step one. Because the moment you apply GEM 1, you start to sort of create a body that will receive any kind of movement increment that you're offering through your mobility work. So right by application of GEM, you will improve the application of the ranges you create, even without applying what I'm about to tell you right now. If you need to learn more about GEM philosophy, you can click on the linked video in this video, and it will explain my philosophy and things to keep in mind when it comes down to helping you attain a better posture when you're sitting down. So now, if you are working on the postures piece already, now you can start thinking of what's the best way just to work on my body that I can get better movement opportunities and I'm able to apply and integrate a lot better too. So in a traditional chest stretch, when you're going into the wall and just dropping forward and the focus stays entirely on stretching this, it feels good. But at the same time, it's really hard to motivate the fascia in order to make structural changes when the duration of the stretch is going to be very short-lived, and right after that, you still will assume a very similar internally rotated positioning. Your breathing pattern still would stay very similar to what you were doing prior to stretching. So your body contracts again and the stretch doesn't last. The one way that stretching can actually not only hit a lot more of your body, but also helps you keep those changes is thinking about fascia stretching as opposed to stretching your muscles alone. When I'm working on my shoulder in this position, it does feel like a good stretch provided I'm applying the GEM philosophy, grounding, engaging, and then mindfully adding that movement with my control of the breath, keeping the core engaged. Now the standard stretch is good enough to create a better stimulation. So far we've just taken your regular stretch of the chest in which you're just focusing on the shoulder to shift it to the whole body assessment and movement piece to stimulate fascia as opposed to stretching just the muscle. It started with me pushing my feet down, engaging my core, and then just adding a little bit of movement. So now these three things when applied will take that simple stretch to something that's now impacting your whole body. So in this positioning, I'm pushing into the wall with my inner elbow and not right on the joint, but this area. So maintaining that push in, and the moment I'm pushing into the wall, it creates tension and stability on the shoulder. I'm going to retract. That is creating a little bit more of a scapular movement like this to make the stretch of this area a little bit more pronounced. So now I'm taking this stretch into the next layer of it. So instead of just pushing, I'm now starting to think about how to optimize and improve the stretch in the shoulder itself. And I will take that grounding on level 2, which is pushing more proactively, engaging the joint below, and then starting to move forward, thinking of my knee wants to drive forward, but my back heel wants to keep me back, and the shoulder makes the modification to sink further in, but you are in full control because your core is tight, and then adding that movement back and forth. So now I'm taking that stretch to the next level, which is activation of this area alongside I'm stretching it. Benefit of that, every time I come down a little bit lower, it is going to make that range stronger and allow my body to access the next range. Extremely important, right? So now just by doing that stretch, I find this entire side actually feels a really good release. So I didn't work on just the shoulder or just the pec. I worked on my entire line of the fascia that goes around the lateral aspect of the body that's on the side or in the front. And adding that grounding, engaging, and maintaining a mindful breathing into the entire movement, you have plenty of opportunity just to progress this. You can move on to the straight arm version of this. You can keep this leg forward, that's going to hit you differently and it's going to hit the fascia differently. These are small things. You can do them throughout the day. You look weird, and that's okay. And I don't care about how people look at me when I do these things, but I always want to know what they're thinking because it would be really funny. But I throw these in throughout the day. You can ask anyone that spends a lot of time with me. I'm stretching myself all the time. At the moment you start to stimulate your fascia in the direction you want it to go, your body has to listen. And your body changes in function, it changes in posture. So use the stretch multiple times a day. Make sure you stretch both the sides. Stay controlled in your posture, grounding, engaging, maintaining. And you will find your function will start to shift. You can do this before your workouts, Before you walk, it will improve your function. You find yourself slouching through the day. You do this a few times on each side, and you find your function gets better. The moment you change how you do things, the things that you experience, they start to shift. And it starts with your body. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or you would like to learn a stretch, leave a comment, and I would love to help. Have a good day.